Hey everyone, it's no secret that we do Smurf commentaries where we send challenger players to play in lower elos like gold and plat. We do this to show how to carry the players that you have to carry in your own games. But we haven't really ever talked about what the enemy could be doing to counter the plays that we're looking for. After all, challengers lose to other challengers and even lower ranked players all the time. They're just really good at forcing and exploiting mistakes from the enemy. If you don't make as many, it's much harder to get huge leads for them, and you can win. Smurfs just aren't unbeatable. Gaming is amazing because we're all on an even playing field. There is no you're 7 feet tall and playing basketball equivalent of gaming. We're all restricted by the same rules and the same universe of the game we play. So there isn't some unclimbable wall that you need to get over in order to beat players that are quote unquote better than you. You just have to know and understand the rules and systems that they're using to their advantage. Today we're going to be looking at the junglers in my most recent Smurf commentaries and going over their huge early game mistakes that let me snowball and take over. I actually wanted to make this video because oftentimes players jump on their own teammates' throats thinking they're really bad before they just acknowledge that the enemy played something really well. Should the gold junglers I'm playing against in these games do better than me? Well, probably not, but their teammates don't know that and are quick to flame in these kinds of games. Hopefully, if they do watch this, they get some info that helps them in the future. So, we're sorry for smurfing, but playing against people better than you is the best way to learn. And this is definitely not the only time that these players are going to have to encounter smurfs. Every time you're against one, you should want to use it as a way of testing yourself and improving. I distinctly remember my first time playing against really notable players like Meteos and getting smashed almost 7 years ago. But I did go over those games and they really helped me to get to where I am now as a player. Anyways, let's jump right into it. Starting off, we've got a game where I piloted Talia into Lee Sin. We're going to use Lee Sin's perspective when going through this game, so we have the same information that he did during it. But I ended this game 12-2-6, and it definitely could have been avoided. The game begins with both top laners fighting each other and going extremely low. Lee Sin starts blue buff and wants to path into top lane, which I personally think was correct. Jax has Ignite, teleport this game, so it's definitely going to be pretty volatile. In addition to knowing that Jax burned both summoners in this engage, he also got deep vision in my jungle and knew that I wasn't starting my blue. With this amount of information and a summoner advantage on top lane, Lee Sin actually has an advantage over me at this moment. Here's where he should be applying this really valuable concept. Whenever you have an advantage in League, you want to be able to use it to get more advantages, and whenever you have a disadvantage, you want to be able to cover it. In this case, he has a teleport advantage, but Urgot did lose some health in the early trade and is a little lower than half. In order to convert that lead, Urgot is going to need to recall to recover his HP, then at that point he will have a teleport advantage above his opponent with no downside attached. So as a jungler, we need to somehow play off of this advantage and try to get it to be a realized gain for our team. The potential is there, we just have to capitalize on it. He begins clearing up, and this is where he makes a crucial mistake. What do you think it is? Lee Sin is definitely about to just autopilot his clear and not think about what I'm about to do to punish. While Urgot has an unrealized gain with his teleport, I know that the health advantage Jax has is a plus for me, and I'm just going to try and take advantage of it before Lee Sin. When he does his wolves here, he gives me a chance to get into topside and path into top. As Talia, I outscale Lee and lose early, so he really needs to be pressuring me in order to actually win the game. If we both just farm, I'll win. He sees me at low HP on my blue buff, but because he decided to do wolves, he's not in any position to actually punish it. If he had invaded me here and just done blue comp red into my blue, I'd be in a pretty rough spot here and he'd cut off a lot of options for me. We both want to go towards top, so him stopping me from doing so due to him winning our 1v1 would drastically have changed this game. Even seeing me move up into river, there are no pings coming down from Lee, and he goes to resume his clear. Instead of doing red, he easily could have counter-ganked and probably won. So already there were 2 chances to use information that he had at his disposal to punish me, and he didn't bite. Missing things like this is what lets me get away with the following play. I run straight top after doing one of my fastest level 3 clears I could, skipping my Krugs and Gromp, because I knew I needed to be top to punish the early fight. Had Lee been here, I would have died. By the end of this play, Lee finishes his red and is about to make another mistake. What would you do in this situation? We just saw Talia kill our top, and we don't have mid or top priority, so we definitely can't go into river to contest top crab. However, Lee doesn't use that information and decides to try and fight me on it anyways. He goes mid looking for my low HP Zed, and then walks face first into a full combo from me. He does end up forcing my flash just because my Zed was extremely slow in the rotation, but he should in all cases and in this game does die for even trying to walk into river like this. He could have easily just continued clearing his camps to get level 4, or gone to bot crab and tried to gank bot here as an alternative. My bot lane definitely would have died to this, and there would be nothing I could do besides ping the play. A lot of times players try to contest things they simply have no business contesting, instead of recognizing that a play is lost and looking for a counterplay somewhere else. Don't dig your hole deeper than it already is. Once he revives, he runs bot side, and at this time he sees me show top on the map again. So what should he do now? With this info, he should know that I still have 20 CS, and that means that I haven't done any more camp since the last time he saw me, besides just the top crab. With this intel, he should also know that my raptors respawned around 4 minutes or 4:05, and that I'm not able to take them in the time that it would take for him to steal them away. With this info as well as full mid priority, he has a golden chance to take them away and put me behind, as well as get deep vision to help track me for later. However, he instead opts to go for Scuttle Crab, which he definitely could have gotten on the way out after taking my raptor camp. Basically, he just doesn't do enough with the info that I showed top, and fails to set me behind, having seen me wasting my time. I even say that I for sure can kill top here, and, well, famous last words. Can I kill this guy by myself? Yeah, now I can for sure. Well, not for sure if I miss everything. I really thought his E was going to pop my E there. We both make mistakes. The difference is that I punish him for his and he doesn't do the same. Once again, challenger players aren't unbeatable. They mess up. You just need to actually take advantage of the info that you have. After the crab, he wanders around a bit without leaving a ward in my jungle, which he'll definitely pay for in a second. I walk right through where he should have warded and dive his mid laner. He fights me for a bit, and we both narrowly escape. Afterwards though, he's about to mess up again. He watches me go towards bot and doesn't give a single ping to his bot lane. While it's obviously not his fault that they died because they should be paying attention as well, you can't really blame them if you didn't notice or warn them either. Knowing full well that I'm bot side, he needs to make a counterplay on the other side of the map. Instead, he goes to farm his raptors when he easily could be taking away my gromp, wolves, or setting up for a top dive or a crab. He just farms his camps and hasn't punished me at all for showing on the map in the entire game. At this point, I'm super far ahead and it's really difficult for him to do anything. He pretty much cannot avoid getting one shot for the rest of the game, and I won't throw this kind of lead. I go on to one shot all of his team for the rest of the game and bring it to a close. Once it gets late in the game, it's hard to stop a Smurf from carrying, but the reason isn't that they're just unbeatable at that point. They just make more consistent punishes and better decisions early. In the course of hundreds of actions within a game, a better player will just make less mistakes, but they will be there. No play is ever perfect, and there's tons of places where Lee had counterplay in this game. Had he taken them, I definitely would have struggled to end the game. Lower elo players just make tons of mistakes that better players can take advantage of, and the longer the game goes without them being punished, the more they can set you behind. If you want to beat Smurfs, you have to hit them hard early where their ability to impact the game is the highest. If you stop the snowball, even a Smurf has a hard time carrying their useless teammates in the late game, and that's a feeling that everyone has experienced at least once, so you know what I'm talking about. We hope that this video has given you some insight into what kinds of things you should be looking for early on in terms of counterplay, and if you like content more focused on the lower elo perspective and not the challenger one, let us know as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.